Coming into office in 1999, the Keith Mitchell-led administration had vowed to decentralize commercial activities from St. George's, spreading the investment opportunities throughout the state of Grenada. True to form, a number of development projects have been emerging in parishes and in particular the rural areas, some never before seen.
St. David has already become a web of activity with a number of big projects in that area, Point Mackey, Bacolod Bay, to name a few. Today we look at another historic move by the government, inspired by Mr. Kenny Lal Singh and the Honorable Anthony Boson. The tongue of Sauteurs will soon be transformed into a buzz of economic activity with the Port St. Patrick project. Exim Bank of China is providing a concessionary loan of approximately $80 million for the implementation of the project. Recently, officials of the bank were in Grenada looking at the feasibility of the project.
In 1998, before I took the decision to get involved in politics, I prepared a plan for St. Patrick called St. Patrick 2000 and Beyond, Vision, Challenges and Opportunities. And in that document, I outlined a number of projects which I hope to see on stream by the year 2010. And that port project was one of those that I highlighted, in addition to the Libera project, the bus terminal. And then from then onward, I kept that as my number one priority for St. Patrick, a port, because the people were always talking about it. And they were talking about the port in the context of the Osprey. They were saying, but wait, now we're looking at the Osprey go all the way to St. George's, passing from Sauteurs. So I was looking at something really to accommodate the Osprey. But then we had some very enterprising business persons in Sauteurs, and I really want to pay tribute to a couple of them, who took up that idea and decided that, hey, we want to advance this idea of the port, we really want a port. I'm talking about the late Lennox Jerome. He was one of the first persons to really form a company, right, to advance the idea of developing this port. But unfortunately, the funding was the number one problem. And then came Dr. Stan Friday, who also established a company to advance the idea of the port. They prepared a very nice design, but again, the funding was a problem. And then came Mr. Kenny Lal Singh.
I promised the people of St. Patrick a fisherman's jetty. What we are discussing today is an entire port and marina project. So from 1984 to now, we have been discussing it, we have been putting proposals together. And fortunately, in 1990, we built the first fisherman jetty, and nothing more was done. In the last few years, I reapproached the present administration and brought the project back on stream once more.
Kenny Lal Singh went, I think he traveled to China with the Prime Minister. And I told him to raise the idea of getting the funding for the port. And he did. When he went to China, he raised it with the Exim Bank. But I told him that the Exim Bank does not treat with private persons, right? It's more government to government.
When Minister Boson went to China recently on a government visit, he went to the Exim Bank and personally to discuss the project with them. And they actually said, in principle, they are approving the project because they think it's a good project that will develop the area, create jobs, and so forth. And they assured him that they will be coming to Grenada to meet with the delegation who were able to put a project together.
I feel a project like this could bring a lot of benefit for the people in St. Patrick's here. Yeah, in terms of trading and things like that. And maybe finance, people could get work, jobs and things created as a result. Yeah, I feel this is a good move.
When you have to go in Carriacou to go all the way St. George's, it don't make sense. The boat could run right here and pick you up.
It will develop Sotes a lot. Knowing the kind of people, the kind of efforts that the people put out within St. Patrick's, so with the communities around St. Patrick's, it will be a very good idea to benefit the people a lot.
I would like to see it happen. It will help develop Sotes a lot. It will bring more business to St. Patrick, and to the poor working class people, it will help. They will gain benefit from that.
St. Patrick needs some things that we should be able to help ourselves.
On the 30th of November, the Vice President of Exim Bank headed a delegation to Grenada, met with us in Sotes. That's the Port St. Patrick Company Limited. We did a PowerPoint and we showed them the project. We showed them an elevated view of the project, and I think that from Carib's Leap is what really sold the project convincingly to the Vice President and his team that this is a project that is needed in the area. And he said almost automatically, yes, he thinks this project is one that they will fund.
After this site visiting, we feel very good. This actually is a good project. We will give us full support to construct this project and to enhance or promote the economic and trade cooperation between China, People's Republic of China, and the Grenada. It's a really beautiful country. I love it. So this morning when I walked around the beach, I really enjoyed it.
See a total transformation of the St. Patrick's Parish, and the fact that there would be a port being built here, I can see a link between the parishes of St. Patrick's, St. John's and St. George's, because yachts and boats will not be able to move from one parish to another parish by the construction of this port facility up here.
Yeah, I find it's a good thing, because it will be better now. Instead of going down in town, people could come up here and come in hotels and things and come and eat in restaurants up here.
Children finishing school just now, and instead of going right in town and walk, they could stay in St. Patrick's and do their jobs, and instead of paying all this money for bus and stuff like that.
I think the project is good for St. Patrick's in that it would bring local development to the area. It would create employment and also help people in the area to increase or to enhance their income. That would lead to poverty reduction and also to overall social and economic development in the area, not only in St. Patrick's but also the surrounding parishes as well.
No, that is a good way to enhance the employment for the youths them in St. Patrick.
Because instead of we have to quit in St. George's, it will be much easier for us to remain in St. Patrick's.
It's a good idea because straight to the point, when I was growing up, we always have the impression that St. George's is Grenada, and especially Tongue. And if something like that happening in St. Patrick's, I mean, that's very good for the parish, tourism-wise, because remember, St. Patrick is a historical parish. We had the Lipazil and whatever, a lot of tourists come here. So I think it's something very, very good.
completed project will have several aspects to it. First of all, what we will see extending out will be a breakwater. That breakwater will have on it a garden environment and also a boutique hotel with cafes. That breakwater will extend out to create a safe harbor area. And along on the inner part of that safe harbor, we'll have a sort of carénage-like effect with appropriately designed buildings which make the most of the type of Carib artifacts that we see. So it uses some of those themes of the Caribs, uses some of the themes of the traditional architecture that we have in the area as well. So it's going to be very appropriately done.
Sometimes we have to go to Carriacou, leave in St. Patrick and go to the capital, St. George's, to get transportation with whatever we have by bus. And we're passing right in front of our door here to go back up to Carriacou.
I personally think it's a good thing for the St. Patrick's itself because it will help develop the community more and create more jobs and more opportunities for people in the area. A boating facility in St. Patrick's is greatly appreciated.
And with a port, I feel we on the right direction because now it's hard on the people in St. Patrick's. For instance, if you have to go to Carriacou, you'll have to take a bus travel down to St. George's. From St. George's, you'll have to take a spree and then travel up to Carriacou. Then you're coming down, feeling bored, seasick, and you're looking at Sotters right here. But yet still you have to travel way out to St. George's. With a port here, you move from the north, you're right here.
I think a project of that magnitude could benefit St. Patrick's once the work is being done by local people. Once they get local contractors, local workers from the parish involved in it, then I think it will bring in benefits.
That is something we have indicated to them, that we want to have local people. And even the memorandum that we signed with the construction company did indicate that we will want to have a significant component of local involvement in that project. If we can find the technical personnel, then we have to get it from them. But non-skilled labor, unskilled labor, definitely there will be. And there will be opportunities for every category of workers, busmen, taximen, truckmen. These are people that will be employed locally.
This is where we come to the end of our program for today. Do join us again next time because the next project we may be looking at might be in your area.